Cav. What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy from Berkshire Bike and Board, and this is everything you need to know about Stage 8 of the 2023 Tour de France. I'm sad today. It didn't happen. Oh my God. I'm gonna get to that. Let's go to the normal stuff. So, Stage 8, Le Bourne to Limoges, 200K, 3 categorized climbs. They were all Cat 3, Cat 4 climbs, nothing too crazy. I thought it was going to be one for the Breakaway today, I gotta say, and I wasn't alone in that prediction. A lot of people did. Breakaway did go early, 3 riders. You know, the Breakaway is an interesting thing. The first thing is, like, why do people do it? Well, people go on the Breakaway because they think they can hold off the peloton for the entire stage and win the stage. And if they get to the finish, you know, like three guys went today, right? If they get to the finish on their own, well, their odds are 33% that they're going to win because they only have to outsprint 2 other guys. Whereas if they're in the peloton, well, they got to outsprint sprinters and 180 other guys. So that's why the Breakaway goes. Well, that's one reason. The other reason is to get TV time. So if a team is doing terrible in the tour, and, you know, they have sponsors that they're obligated to get some TV time from, sports director will generally say, go on the Breakaway, you know, get off the front, give us some TV time. Anyways, we had 3 guys go off the front today. They held it for a while. Last guy got caught like 10 miles ago, which is pretty impressive. I think it was actually 5 miles to go. He was out there by himself at the end. He was just grinding. And I mean, you can only imagine how much pain he's in. Got to give it to him. Got to love Breakaway, but man, they always get caught pretty much. Back to today. So, what happens today? Again, 200K, lumpy day, but nothing too crazy. Most people thought the sprinters were going to be gone by the time it came to the sprint, but we had, Philipsen was there, Mads Pedersen was there, Biniam Girmay was there, Cab was not there. We'll get to that again. Intermediate sprint, it's interesting because it was, the intermediate sprint isn't always the biggest deal, but they always generally do go for it, and today, they went for it. Van der Poel pulled in Philipsen. Philipsen got the win. But the interesting thing to me about it was that Cav was right on Philipsen's wheel, no problem, sitting down. So it's like he had the stuff. And then with 50K to go, he goes down, he breaks his collarbone. I feel like it would only be appropriate to say a little I love you to Cavendish. Was it 34 Tour de France wins in the course of his career. That ties the record with Eddie Merckx. He was world champion one year, I think in 2013. He won a silver medal, I believe it was, at the Olympics. 160-something Grand Tour victories over the course of his career. I mean, the guy is one of the greatest of all time. He was fun to watch. He was emotional. The highs were highs, the lows were lows. The sprints were exciting, had his signature style where he'd be in the drops, super hunched over, just like, how many kids and bike riders across the entire world sprint and copy how Cav rides his bike? Like, it's an iconic move. I was super bummed to see him go down today. I was screaming inside of the veterinarian's office while we were getting Josie some shots, and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy. My girlfriend was not psyched about it, but it's so hard to hold in, like, the emotion on that kind of thing because we were all rooting for him. Cav, we were all rooting for you. Part of the reason why it's sad is he's already announced his retirement, so it sounds like this is probably it for him. And, what do they say? Like, better to burn out than to fade away. He went out with a bang. I think the win in the Giro last month was probably one of his best victories ever. Probably one of the sweetest for him because a lot of people had counted him out. And he won by like 10 bike lengths, which was pretty awesome. By himself, no lead out, no nothing. So, Cav, you rock. It was amazing to watch you over the years, and we're all excited to see what you do next. But for now, take some time, rest up, watch the kiddos, and we'll see you soon. About the regular bike race. So break comes back, we get to the sprint. And, there was a couple lumpy climbs at the end. They were averaging like 35 miles an hour for the last 20 kilometers, which is insanely fast, just so everybody who's watching this, which is not a lot of people, know. It's insanely fast. I did a bike race today, did well. We rode for 30 miles, and we averaged 24 miles an hour, and it was hard. So they're averaging 11 miles an hour faster than that in the last, 15 miles of 100 and something mile bike race, 200 kilometer bike race. So just the level of fitness is so beyond what us regular people can do. It's hard to even understand it. So they come into the sprint, and it was kind of like, it looked like a false flat a little bit, so like a little bit of an uphill, but the big guys were there. How did it go? So it was a long straight finish. It was safe. It was like half a mile. And you could tell that it was longer than normal. And you could tell that everybody was more tired than normal with the climbs kind of coming into it. Because kind of standard fare. Jumbo pulled in Wout. Wout was my pick for today. So I'm 3 for 8 now, which is unfortunate. Well, it looks like he maybe got boxed out or something. But he was out. He didn't have it. Mads Pedersen, he had a strong lead out. He was going for the win. And then you had Jasper Philipsen, who's won the last 3. and Vanderpool pulled him in like normal, pulled off a little earlier, and Philipsen was left out in the wind by himself for a long time, which is why today would have been a perfect stage for Cavendish to take a win on. Oh my God. Long, slight uphill, perfect Cav sprint. Philipsen basically ran out of juice. Mads Pedersen took the win. It was a great stage, but yeah, I think all I can think about today is I just feel bad for Cav, you know, and all the fans, and yeah, it's a bummer, but you know, c'est la vie. Okay, let's talk about tomorrow. Stage 9, going up the Puy de Dôme, I think it's called. It's a shorter day, like 100 miles, maybe a little less, like 90, but the last climb is a big HC climb, so or category it's called. It's basically the hardest type of climb in the Tour de France. 13 kilometers at 8%, so it's a big boy. It's going to be one for the GCs, so they're gonna all ride together all the way to the bottom of that climb, and then things are going to get very interesting on that climb. I have to make a prediction, which is going to be, I think Jonas and Jumbo, because they still have 30 seconds on Tade, are gonna ride defensively, because they made that mistake a few days ago where Jonas was just kind of pulling and not paying attention and just riding his own race. I think that kind of opened some eyeballs a little bit. So my guess is that Jonas and Tade, or their teammates, are pulling them most of the way up there. And I don't think Jonas is going to ride Tade off his wheel like we've seen in the past, because I think Tade is just feeling fit and feeling the fire in his belly. So I think what will happen is Jonas will ride it a little bit smarter. And by that, I mean, I think Tade will probably sprint for the line and try to get the win. There'll be some bonus seconds up for grabs. It's probably 10 for first, 5 for second. The extra amount of energy that you have to put in to sprint to the finish after a, 15 or whatever it was kilometer straight uphill race is huge, and probably not worth those 5 seconds. But this is why I love watching Tade race his bicycle. He doesn't give a he wants to win. So if they're together, my guess is that Tade sprints and takes the win. Yeah, we love you, Cav. That's all I gotta say. Thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe, it helps us out tremendously. And like I always say, round up for distance, round up for time. Thanks for watching.